какой тренд у вас больше? Как вы интегрируете традиционные СМИ в новые медиа?
It's very complicated because you can be so busy looking at social media or promoting on social media that you don't do your job. And after you're done putting out emails about what you've done and promoting on Twitter and putting the link on Facebook and deal with what, that you actually have less time to do your job. I think I know when I've done pure blogging straight through, not a lot of stories. And the dividing line between consuming media and producing media. In order to be smart, we have to keep consuming media, right? But we have to keep producing. And I always wonder, at what point do I stop reading and start typing? And the thing about social media engagement is it's extremely time-consuming, and you can't just read, you have to examine. Every blog is not created equal. Some are completely full of shit. They might look right, they might seem true, but when you pull them apart, you have to examine the sources. One of the frustrations of mine as somebody who is a digital adopter as opposed to a digital native is that my younger colleagues seem to consume media and produce media at the same time. That it's not a discrete act. And it's highly frustrating. I'll give you an example. When there were rumors that Osama bin Laden had been captured or killed, I was watching this. It first blew up on Twitter, right? And I was watching it. And then it started to appear on more mainstream sites. And it's like, wow, the first news about this is on Twitter. I cover media. We should probably do a blog post about how this first came up. But when I opened up our blog to write a post, one of my younger colleagues already had 900 words sitting there. I'd like to, at times like that, I'd like to find him and press a pillow slowly over his head. But long term, that's probably not a great business plan. So what I've tried to do is learn as much as I can from him, and we collaborate a great deal. But my impulse is slow. It isn't metabolically. And I mean, I'm deeply involved in social media. I have 350,000 followers on Twitter. My Facebook account is totally out of control. I didn't understand Facebook when it first came. So everybody that wanted to be my friend, I said, okay. So now my feed has 4,000 people in it. It's easy to end up feeling overwhelmed. Am I in charge of social media, or is it in charge of me? And over time, am I going to lose my ability to think long thoughts? I wrote a magazine story about an American TV anchor, Keith Olbermann, 10,000 words long. I'm so used to working in 140 characters that I just froze when it was time to write it. How am I doing? Am I going too fast or too slow? Is it good?
Еще есть два вопроса. Ну, наверное, не секрет, что в России очень серьезная цензура во многих СМИ. И так сложилось, что мы, блогеры, несем такую какую-то информацию, которую СМИ
And it so happened that we bloggers have such information which mass media
и блогеры восполняют то, что боятся говорить официальные
does
СМИ.
not have, and bloggers very often voice something which official mass media does not say.
Я воспользуюсь одной возможностью задать вопрос по теме, которую использует пропаганда официальная, наша российских официальных СМИ, для того, чтобы дискредитировать СМИ в США. Это две темы. Первая – это ситуация войны в Ираке, когда, как нам кажется из России, что в СМИ США была информация о том, что у Саддама Хусейна было оружие массового поражения, что потом все-таки не подтвердилось. И вторая очень сложная ситуация, конечно, это скандал с Wikileaks.
Just a sec though. One question at a time. So let's do the first one.
Okay.
So to the issue of the run-up to the Iraq War, when you talk about the general perception that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, that story was in the New York Times and over, and used as a basis, in part by the administration, to go to war. It has since become apparent that we rely far too much on our sources, and that the administration was selling the American people a bill of goods, a false story, and we helped them do that. It's a very big black mark on the history of our newspaper.